What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys have all had a great Tuesday. Hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, of course, with The Catch fam. We are hopping into a full PPR 12-team mock draft tonight. One quarterback setting, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flex spots, and a couple bench spots as well. So I'm going to go ahead and randomize the order, and then I'll give this another minute or two to give everyone a chance to hop in here, but I'm sure you guys are ready to go. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time. So there's your draft order. Man, the 1.12 again for me. Oh, well, we'll survive. I like the 1.12, but I got it last redraft mock we did. But nonetheless, guys, thank you guys for spending part of your night here on the channel tonight. And thank you guys for coming out and talking some fantasy football. So hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. But most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Any fantasy football topics, redraft, dynasty, best ball, any NFL topics, whatever it may be. Get it going. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So I'm going to give one last shout on Discord. So we did send out the link tonight a little bit early. Just make sure everyone has a second to get in here. So I'll give it exactly one more minute. 7:02 p.m. Eastern time. We're starting. But I scared everyone on Discord. I said we're starting now, so we'll see what happens. So get your keyboards ready. Get your phone ready. Get your laptop ready. Whatever it may be, 1 minute, we're kicking off here. So not really any fantasy relevant NFL news today. We had a little bit of NFL news, but like I said, nothing really necessarily fantasy relevant. Devin White of the Buccaneers supposedly requesting a trade on the last year of his contract, due for an extension. Apparently, he is looking to leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see, I suppose. Sorry, trying to fix the music while I do this as well. I don't know what's going on with the music, guys. Oh, well. That is weird. We'll try a different song. All right, that was like the worst. Okay, we need to start this mock draft. Let's go, baby. All right, mock draft's underway. Sorry, guys. That was just really going to bother me. I probably could have handled that without just staring at my phone. Jeff Okudah going from the Lions, the Falcons for a 5th-round pick. We had that news as well. Didn't play great for the Lions. Was going to cost them like $10 million. So I think it's a good move by the Lions. And I think he'll be a nice addition to the Falcons, who already have A.J. Terrell, and they added Jesse Bates this offseason as well. But that's literally it. Then we have a report coming out that the Cowboys potentially are checking on the availability of Derrick Henry and could potentially make a trade for him during the NFL draft. So that is, good old off-season speculation. We'll see what happens. But I am interested to get your guys' thoughts. That's why we're running the poll. Is Derrick Henry getting traded or not? Because this was kind of like a buzz topic earlier in the offseason, and then it's kind of crashed down. But I do really believe at the end of the day that this could happen. So we'll see. All right, so I think Speezy's running a little bit late, so we'll give him the auto pick here. Michael, you're on the clock. Alrighty, I'm going to hop in live chat, see what's popping, guys. Thomas, what's going on, man? Hello, hello. Perfect timing. Let's go. Let's go. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, a little bit of an earlier stream tonight. Oh, I'm on the clock. I think I'm going to go double receiver here. Go A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb. I really wanted Amon-Ra, but I'm going to stick with the NFC East. I thought about going double running back with Barkley, Jacobs, ETN, Hall, Pollard, Walker, all sitting there, but I'll go Brown and Lamb. Switch it up a little bit. Just really hard for me. I just really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right. Back to the chat. Chance, what's going on, bro? How we doing, man? Hello, hello. Taylor, about to eat dinner, so I'm going to be in and out of the stream. It's no worries, bro. Yeah, man. Draft off your phone. You're good, my guy. You're good, you're good. Kevin asks, why would you want to leave the Bucs if you were Devin? It's a good question. I mean, could just believe that they're, with Brady gone, trending in the wrong direction. I mean, obviously, without this season already, or not already happening, it's hard to tell. Overall, being on the last year of his contract, could believe maybe if he plays elsewhere for a year, he could get more money down the road. I don't know. Could be unhappy for reasons we don't know with the Bucs, so it's hard to say. Defense was pretty good last year, so we'll see. Don, what's going on, man? Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Thomas says Mel Kiper's mock 4.0 came out today. Had the Hawks moving up in the second round to grab Hendon Hooker. I really think this is going to be one of the most difficult NFL drafts to call. I mean, it's always difficult. The so-called experts are generally very far off, but really, when you look at the depth of position for this coming draft, I just think so many different things could happen. I think it's going to be a really entertaining NFL draft at the end of the day. I do think Hooker in the second round would be a good pick for the Hawks, though. Albert, what's going on, bro? Hello, hello. Justin says JT sucks. Yeah, sorry, man. You got the auto pick there. Taylor Gang, what's up, bro? Don says Gibbs would be such a good compliment to Walker for Seattle, in my opinion, if they could get him. Yeah, Gibbs is a very interesting player because would I be surprised if he goes at the end of the first? No. But I do think it's more likely he goes in the second round overall. But yeah, he'd be a great compliment piece to Walker. And, I mean, Seattle has a rich history of lately under Pete Carroll drafting running backs, but I think they're pretty okay with Walker. And once again, it's such a deep class at the position. I really won't be surprised if they take one later in the draft. You're good, Justin. No worries, Bursky. Chase, what's up, bro? Is there any place in particular could post a mock invite on the Discord for another time? Yeah. So we actually have a mock draft thread. But you do have to... So if you're on the Discord and you see all the different threads on the left side there, what you want to do is go to reaction rules. And then where it says click here. By the way, if you guys have not done this, go in and do this. Once you click here, you'll be granted access to the mock draft thread right here. And this is where you guys can post your mock draft invites at any time. Chase. Albert, do you really believe that the Cowboys would be interested in trading for Henry? Yes, I do. I mean, I think at the end of the day, there are multiple teams that at the very least would inquire about Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? It is kind of interesting. I mean, you let Zeke walk. You keep Pollard on the franchise tag. Zeke and Henry still very, very, very different players. But I still think you're going to end up paying a relatively premium price for Henry, right? All right. Wow, lots of talent wiped off the board, guys. All right, give me DJ Moore. I want to go like hero running back style, but there's just like not really anyone there that I like. I'm going to go heavy receiver tonight. Let's just switch it up. Let's go heavy receiver. Let's take 4 guys right off the board. See what happens. We're not picking again until the 5.12. Just switch it up. Why not? Oh, Kevin saying, I'm saying, why would White not want to leave the Bucs? It's going to be Swiss cheese. Oh, that's okay. Very different than what I thought I read earlier. Problem is off-ball linebackers don't seem to have much leverage. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting time in the NFL for both linebackers and running backs. Don says difficult to call makes it fun as hell to bet. Where do you guys, if you guys are betting on the NFL draft, what sports book do you guys bet through? Because I haven't been able to find any that actually offer bets for the NFL draft. Preach on them professionals, yeah. Kuiper being one of the worst. Also, is Seattle grabbing Josh Palmer with their last pick? Interesting. Is it a full mock? All rounds? Don, have a good night, man. Go eat some dinner. No worries, Chase. Chances throw Henry on the fence, make them the Insta Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, I think, I mean, we've definitely heard that speculation, but I think that Dalvin Cook would also fit that offense very well. It's more of like I don't know, I just feel like they're a faster paced offense, so as much as I think Derrick Henry would be great there, I do think that Cook would maybe be a little bit more intriguing, but I just feel like the Dolphins are in such a weird spot right now in terms of the, like we've talked about this a little bit, right? But when you look at their backfield currently re-signing both Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, and I just think there's a strong likelihood that they're just going to draft a running back and leave it at that. 2 veterans and a rookie for now. But I don't know. Cook's another guy, right? Cook and Henry, like beginning of the offseason, it's like they're both getting traded. And we haven't heard much of anything until today, at least with Henry. Chase, I want to see him in the backfield with Josh Allen. That would have been crazy. Yeah, and the Bills are definitely a popular team to speculate on when it comes to the running back position. But I mean, I know they have a new offensive coordinator this season, so it could change, but it just feels like they're going to continue to draft running backs. I mean, I really hope that they implement the run game more. And I think after last season with, Josh Allen being essentially hurt all year, I won't be surprised if they start to run the football more, but I also won't be surprised if they don't. You know what I mean? But I do agree. I mean, Henry and Allen would be filthy, for sure. Thomas says John grabbed Fields. Yeah, I missed out. I'm going to go late round quarterback tonight. See what I can chop up here with my 4 wide receiver set. Close to a J-Dub strategy, right? He's got 3 so far. Who did go in the first round? J.J. Chase, C-Mac, Cup, Kelsey, Diggs, Bijan Hill, JT, the auto pick, Eckler, Adams, A.J. Brown. This year is feeling very wide receiver heavy in the beginning of drafts. I think as we get closer to August, you're going to see more running backs creep back into the first round. I feel like it happens every season. Definitely happened last year. All right, large run at receiver here in the 5th round. After Miles Sanders is off the board at 5.1, we got Godwin, Scary Terry, Ridley, and Pickens gone. Justin says Kuiper is the absolute worst. Yep. That's like what he's known for, right? All right, so yeah, nothing really else going on, unfortunately, today. As Monty's off the board there, followed by Mandrews. I'm just ready for the NFL draft to be here. Really, really am. All right, where do I want to go with this next pick? JSN gone at the 5.8. First rookie receiver off the board tonight, per usual. Connor's gone. Mike Williams gone. Chat, let me know. How do you guys feel about Mike Williams going into next season? Because honestly, he had a pretty good season. He was just hurt. And that's kind of always the problem with Mike Williams, right? All right, give me Pacheco. Let's go for some upside. Give me Swift. Had to go running back there. I was very tempted to take Trevor Lawrence. One of you guys will pick him up. We'll stick with the strat. So just so you guys know, we have 6 bench spots tonight. I don't really know what the strategy is tonight. We're just going to kind of see what happens. All right, so let's take a look at a couple potential mocks for the actual NFL draft. All right, so PFF has the Panthers taking Anthony Richardson at 1.1. The odds are in Bryce Young's favor at the moment. I mean, we could just debate this like all day long. Okay, this is a very interesting draft. Bryce Young to the Texans at the 2nd overall pick. The Colts take Will Levis with the 3rd overall pick. Cardinals stay at 4, take Will Anderson. The Hawks take Jalen Carter. And the Tennessee Titans take C.J. Stroud. He falls back to the 6th overall pick. All right, let's pivot for a quick second because there has been some speculation that the Cardinals are going to move in. Or excuse me, the Cardinals are going to move back. And the Titans are going to move up to the 4th overall pick. Hold on a second. But see, part of that speculation was like, I just want to make sure that was right. But part of that speculation is because the Colts pick at 3. So, I mean, you would think that the Titans would want to get in front of the Colts, but there's no real possibility of doing so. Because the Colts are going to trade with them. It's probably going to cost too much to trade the Texans. The Texans probably don't want to trade either. Because in my mind, the Panthers and the Texans want to lock up Young/Stroud, right? I would not be surprised if Levis goes to the Colts. But if the Titans trade up to 4, they're probably going to end up with Anthony Richardson. So, let me know if you guys think that's a real possibility for the Titans to trade up or not. Because like this mock has the Titans staying at 6 and still landing C.J. Stroud. I just don't see it. All right, Devin Witherspoon, the first corner off the board to the Raiders. At 7 here. He'll definitely, like, you know, you'll have Carter. Well, you'll have Anderson and then probably Carter. I mean, Carter's a big question mark with everything that happened off the field and then poor pro day and everything. So, all right, Falcons take the first lineman off the board at 8. I'm going to skip through a couple of these. All right, so JSN going to the Texans at pick 12. First wide receiver off the board. I mean, if the Texans are able to land Young or Stroud, and then are able to land JSN. I think that's huge for them. Huge for them. Dalton Kincaid going to the Packers, pick 15. Christian Gonzalez. Corner I really like going to the Lions at 18. Jordan Addison going to the Seattle Seahawks at pick 20. Quentin Johnston going to the Chargers at pick 21. I would love both those fits. I would love Addison with the Hawks being able to sit behind Metcalf and Lockett. I would love Quentin Johnston to be able to sit behind both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I think those are really, really good spots for them. Not a lot of defensive pressure hanging around right there. You know what I mean? Where do I want to go here? I think I'm just sticking with running backs. Give me A.J. Dillon. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll switch it up here. No, wide receivers have just been decimated, man. Decimated. All right, give me Kamara for like 8 games. 4 wide receivers, 4 running backs. All right, where were we? Bijan Robinson going to the Dallas Cowboys at pick 26. I mean, I could just see Bijan going anywhere at this point. Michael Mayer going to the Bengals. And that does it. It's so weird we only have 31 picks in the first round. Thanks, Dolphins. All right, let me make my head tiny. Here we go. I was close to going Brian Robinson over Kamara. But I'll take the upside for now. Big risk. Michael, I just realized I picked 2 people from the same squads. Oh, Chubb and Cooper, Mike Williams and Eckler, Najee and Deontay. I like it. I like it. Justin says Falcons traded to 3. I thought that's what I've heard. I haven't heard that personally, but I wouldn't be crazy surprised. I mean, they've come out and said that they believe in Desmond Ridder, but what else are they supposed to say? Titans moving to number 2 and grabbing Anthony Richardson. And Mel Kiper's mocks is Thomas. Chase says Titans aren't super aggressive with moving up in the draft usually, but that can change for sure. I mean, Titans are definitely in a position as a franchise, like couple winning seasons under Mike Vrabel, playoff appearances, all that stuff. But they're definitely in a position where it feels pretty pivotal, especially after missing the playoffs last year. Even with the Colts on the downtrend, I mean, you've got the Jaguars on the exact opposite trend. So it definitely feels like, you know, with as big of a question mark that as they have at quarterback, I won't be surprised if they get a little aggressive. I really won't. Because I don't think Malik Willis is going to be the answer. And it's probably why they're in a position where they feel like they have to shop Derrick Henry, which is like, I mean, he's been their offense for how many years now. But yeah, it definitely feels like they're in a pivotal position where they need to make a drastic move. So I won't be surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong, they could hold off another year or two, but you know, between Tannehill and Malik Willis, they are going to be in need of a quarterback sooner rather than later, for sure. Justin says I lie. Well, I wasn't sure if you meant for sure or if it was just a rumor you heard that they were reportedly they might move up to that spot. Box and the Jack, what's up, bro? Hello. Just missed you guys. I might be down to run an off-air Dynasty mock later with you guys. I'll let you guys know. Thomas says good Kamara value is about to grab him. Yeah, I mean, it's a big risk. You're playing the hypothetical, like, the hypothetical you're playing at this point in the offseason is that Kamara is only going to miss half the year, you know? So, like, Kamara plays 8 games, you know, and if Kamara misses a full year, then, like, it is what it is, right? But by the time we're actually drafting, we will probably know that information, hopefully. So at this point in the offseason, let's say he's missing half the season. I'll take him down the stretch in the 8th round in a redraft format. Jimbo, what's up, man? How we doing? Hello. Good to see you, bro. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing fantastic. Appreciate the kind words. Boss man, auction mock one of these days. We've been talking about that a little bit lately. Obviously, we ran the auction league last year. We're going to run another one this coming season. So I just have to plan it for a night where I feel like I have enough time. So it'll probably be a Saturday night. Maybe even a Sunday or Monday night. But yeah, we'll get one coordinated soon for sure. I know you guys have been asking, so I'd like to do that with you guys for sure. I might put it on the least amount of time in terms of the settings, but yeah, we need to get one going for sure, man. All right, what do I want to do with this next pick? Taking the boy himself. Give me Gainwell. Give me my tight end. Give me Ingram. All right, so 3 bench spots left. Probably just going to snag up a couple receivers and a quarterback or 2 and call it a night. Maybe a tight end. We'll see. I'm pretty happy with Evan Ingram in redraft. Weird team. Pacheco, Swift, Dillon, Kamara, Gainwell. I'm actually pretty okay with that running back room in redraft. Wide receivers, Brown, Lamb, Moore, London. I'm okay with that. We probably want to hit on another player here towards the end, but yeah. There goes Odell in the 10th. Was wondering when he was going to go. Justin, I heard it, but thought it was confirmed and misspoke before I fact check. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Chase says Taylor's having a nice draft. He usually is. Henry Sanders, J.J. Metcalf, Kirk Ayuk, T-Law, Freiermuth, Penny. Yeah, I like that team. All right, let's take a look at another mock for the NFL draft. Who do you guys have, for those of you who are in the NBA action, who do you guys have winning tonight? Got Atlanta, Miami, Minnesota, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Just interested. Get your guys' thoughts. So what? I'm trying to do math here. We're like 2.5 weeks away from the NFL draft. All right, I put up a draft that I can't view. Unless I buy a subscription. Do you guys have, when you guys are looking at NFL drafts, NFL mocks, do you guys have like a trusted website or anything that you guys, like, what's your first resource you guys go to? Just curious. All right, Panthers go Stroud, Texans go Young, Colts go Richardson, Cardinals go Anderson, Seahawks go Jalen Carter. Lions go Tyree Wilson. Will Levis goes to the Raiders. Christian Gonzalez goes to the Falcons. Broderick Jones goes to the Bears. Nolan Smith goes to the Eagles. Still crazy to me that the Eagles have a top 10 draft pick. Love the quarterback room. J-Dubs, Tua, and Kyler. Great little combo there, man. All right, Dalton Kincaid going to the Packers in this draft. JSN going to Seattle. First wide receiver off the board at pick 20. Michael Mayer going to the Chargers. Quinn Johnston going to the Ravens. I actually think that'd be a decent fit. Zay Flowers going to the Giants. I'd like that fit, personally. Darnell Washington going to the Saints. Get 3 tight ends in the first round. And Xavier Hutchinson. Wait. This is such a weird list. It jumps from pick... Or it jumps from the first round to pick 99. Oh, because that's the Niners' first draft pick. Okay, I see what they're doing. I think Hutchinson would fit in nicely with the Niners. All right, who's available? Who's on my queue? All right, I guess I'm stuck with Danny Dimes. Let's do it. And I'll go Goff. Gino's here too. I'll go Goff for tonight's mock. Both are fine. I'm surprised Prescott fell out as far as he did. J-Dub's eating up those late round QBs. Michael and Walito eating them up too, as well as myself. I actually really like the way this draft turned out. Heavy receiver, load up at running back, grab my tight end, late round quarterbacks. I'll probably just go best player available at the end there. Michael says Lakers Nation. Wouldn't you guys mostly all agree that the Lakers are going to win tonight? They're the heaviest favorite of the first 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. Justin, just general drafts usually have at least 3 to 5 different versions. Yep. All right, let's take a look at another one. Bryce Young, Stroud, Richardson. Anderson, Carter. Not any different than the last 5 we just saw. JSN going to pick 11 in this draft. I do really think, at the end of the day, man, we've seen so many wide receivers go early in drafts as of late. And by early, I mean like after the first 10 picks. And have immediate value and immediate production that I think JSN is going to go in the top 15. I really do. So let's see here. 2021, JSN led the Buckeyes in receptions. And that receiving corps included Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Crazy. Stroud was throwing all those guys, man. Oh, so this mock has a trade, too. It has the Texans trading with the Titans to move up to spot 11 to grab JSN. I don't know if I see the Titans trading with the Texans. But you never know. I guess if the price is right. Bijan going to the Chargers in this draft. Quinn Johnson going to the Ravens once again in this draft. Will Levis falling all the way back to pick 23. The Vikings. I do think the Vikings are another team. You keep hearing like little rumors and murmurs of the Vikings being interested in adding a quarterback throughout this offseason. They're in a spot where, when you really think about it, with Captain Kirk, like, at the end of his tenure, you know? I won't be surprised if they bring someone young in. Jordan Addison going to the Giants in this draft. Sam Laporta going to the Cowboys. Michael Mayer going to the Bengals. Darnell Washington going to the Chiefs. Dude from the T-Wolves doesn't help. I'm not caught up enough to know the reference. I'm trying to stay in tune with the NBA playoffs, though. Garrett Wilson and Olave publicly said JSN was better than them. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it from that perspective, like, look how high we're drafting Olave in London. Once we know JSN's landing spot, he's going to just shoot up completely in ADP. Him and Bijan both. Bijan, like, I mean, he went at 1.7 tonight. Like, we've seen him go pretty early, but Bijan, I think, will be a top 8 pick in redraft formats. For sure. You probably haven't had this much hype around a running back probably since Saquon. So, I mean, Najee Harris was a first-round pick his rookie season. So, I mean, Bijan's already in. He's going to be a first-rounder no matter what, but I think in redraft he still goes in the top 8. Maybe even a little bit higher. Especially depending on who you draft with. Dude from the Wolves is out for fighting. Oh, that's right. That's right. He punched him. I don't remember his name either. All right. I got to take a look here. DPJ and Zay Jones both gone. Those are kind of my late round receivers. I feel like I have to go receiver here. I'm going to say Darius Slayton is your wide receiver 1 for the Giants. And I'll go Josh Palmer. Wow, yeah, I would have way rather had Rondell Moore, Rashid Shaheed, Hodgins, Zay Jones, or DPJ. Or Josh Downs, for that matter. Slayton and Palmer it is. What are you going to do? All right, you guys are already asking for team reviews. Let me know if you guys want me to take a look at your squad. I would, like I said, I'd probably be down to run an off-air Dynasty mock a little bit later as well. Never get too much practice. But yeah, if you guys want me to do a team review, let me know. And I'll take a look. All right, so we got Michael at the 1.10. Late round QB build, late round tight end build. Looks like we had the same idea tonight, Mike. All right, Watson and Geno, late round build. I'm perfectly fine with that. And Njoku and Jawan Johnson, I'm okay with that too. Eckler, Chubb, Harris, Brian Robinson in a redraft format. I think 5 running backs is probably where you want to be, but I think it's okay to come out with 4 running backs as well, and you've got high caliber names all across the board. Amari, Mike Williams, Deontay Burke, Sutton, DPJ. So I definitely think you have wide receivers that you can play. It's a 2 flex setting here, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, so some merit to wide receivers for sure, but I think you have some question marks. I mean, a good value in all these guys. I'd probably take D-Hop, Watson before Cooper, personally. And I think that Kirk and even Godwin for me are pretty close. Debo as well. But if Cooper's your guy, I'm okay with him. You got kind of a Brown stack going on here. Cooper, Watson, and Njoku. And Cooper still had a really good year. And I was low on Cooper last year. He's still a top 10 player, so at the position. So maybe I'm just too low on Cooper. Let me know what you guys think. But then, like, Mike Williams, some injury concerns. Deontay Johnson's perfectly fine in full PPR, but you just have to be prepared for the ceiling to be very low at the end of the day. Burks is a big question mark, a lot of upside. We've seen a lot of sophomore receivers have a lot of success, so could be worth it. And I've said this before, I'm not worried about Treylon Burks as a player. I'm worried about the passing offense for the Titans. But 7th round, good value. Cortland Sutton, I actually think in the 9th round is worth the pick. Not a high ceiling, but I think when you look at what he did last year, he's actually pretty consistent in full PPR. Just not a high ceiling player at all. So in the 9th round, I think he's good value there. DPJ I like in the 13th round. So I like the team a lot tonight, Michael. Wide receivers, I would argue, a little bit of question marks. But I mean, you're starting Geno or Watson, starting Njoku, Eckler and Chubb, starting Cooper and Mike Williams. But then you can flex Najee and Brian Robinson, or Najee and Sutton, Najee and Deontay Johnson. So, like, overall, I still think the team is well built and perfectly fine for a redraft format. Just nitpicking at the wide receivers, not my personal favorite group. But that's what the waiver wire and trades are for. Overall, I still think it's a good team, Michael. Taylor, apologies for the auto. Had to go bash some rats. Oh, no. I hope they're all bashed. JW, what's up, man? How we doing? JW says, all upside for me. Two a time, Kyler, Anthony Richardson. I'm fine with this quarterback room. See, like, that's the big kind of question mark in a redraft setting. Like, in a one quarterback redraft setting, do you draft Richardson or do you let him go undrafted? Like, Young and Stroud don't go drafted here. They probably won't get drafted in most 12-team one quarterback redraft leagues. 10-team, 8 teams, they definitely won't get drafted. Unless, like, I don't know, Young or Stroud going to go to the Panthers. You have like a diehard Panthers fan in your league or something, you know? But what could happen down the stretch is they start to turn it on or have success, and you have to fight for them on the waiver wire. But, like, Richardson's probably going to be sitting on your bench for, like, 6 games at least, right? But you secure him on your team. No one else has him as long as you don't drop him, right? And maybe that provides some down-the-road stability with Tua's concussion history and Kyler's, coming back from injury, right? Kelsey at tight end, say no more. Ultimately, J-Dubs, for a late-round quarterback build, I like this room. Like I said, say no more. We got Kelsey here. All right, kind of the late-round RB build as well. Gibbs, Algier, Charbonnet, Damian Harris, Keandre Miller. So, like, you can start Algier and probably Gibbs or Charbonnet pretty early in the season. Then you got Harris as a placeholder if things really break down. Keandre Miller, we'll have to see where he lands. I think he's a great prospect, though. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, Pickens. A lot of youth. Talk about them sophomores, man. And you got Jalen Hyatt as well. Yeah, I mean, all upside. Close to a dynasty build here. Really close. I mean, yeah, this could essentially be a 1 QB dynasties build here, except quarterbacks still go a little bit earlier, 1 QB builds. But I like the team. Like you said, it's all upside. I mean, you're starting Tua, Kelsey, let's say Algier and Charbonnet, Algier and Gibbs, Wilson, Olave, flexing Watson and Pickens. Yeah, the bench has got some question marks. But ultimately, I think it's a good team, man. It's a really interesting build, per usual, man. All right, Taylor Gang's at the 1.3. Herbie fully loaded. Say no more. Schultz and Higbee. I think Schultz was a good value for you in the 11th, even though he's on the Texans. I think it's okay to grab a second tight end behind him. C-Mac, Jones, Gibson, Cook, Pirine. I'm okay with that running back room. Waddle, Devonta Smith, McLaurin, Mike Evans, Chark, Rondell Moore. Pretty good receiver value throughout the draft, too. So you're starting Herbert and Schultz, C-Mac and Jones, Waddle and Devonta Smith, flexing McLaurin, and probably Mike Evans. Yeah. Leaves Gibson, Cook, Pirine, Chark, Moore on the bench. Yeah, I like this team a lot. I like nothing crazy jumping out on paper, but I think a well-built team. Core team looks good. You have, no pun intended, flexibility at your flex spot as well. Core roster is nice. I mean, Herbert, C-Mac, Jones, Waddle, Smith, Schultz, and McLaurin. And then that extra flex spot, you got Evans, Gibson, Cook, Pirine, Chark, Moore, Higbee on the bench too. So, yeah, I think it's a good squad, man. I like that team a lot. Thomas is kind of all over the place at the 1.6, tried an early quarterback approach. First QB off the board, and Jay Allen. So we got Allen and captaining like that. Kirk Cousins. Good quarterback room. Waller and Knox. I like the tight end room. Do you think if you draft Waller, draft a second guy at the end of your draft? I think Knox is a great candidate. Stevenson, Monty, White, Fournette. Little light at running back. But like I said earlier, I think in redraft, if you come out of your draft with 4 running backs, it's okay. Diggs, Lockett, Tony, Flowers, Beckham, Hodgins. I mean, I think all things considered, pretty good wide receiver value. You're definitely leaning on Diggs and Lockett. Depends on where Flowers goes, and then Tony, Beckham both have their own concerns. And then Hodgins I like a lot. Good chemistry with Danny Dimes in the red zone at the end of the season. Played well in the playoffs. So I like Hodgins. I like all the Giants wide receivers. I just think, like, I picked Slayton tonight in the 13th. At the end of the day, it's really tough. Randall Robinson went 11.4. Who's going to see the most volume in a very, very crowded wide receiver room? But yeah, Tommy, I mean, you're starting Allen, Waller, Ramondre, Monty, Diggs, and Lockett. Probably flexing Rashad White. So the core roster looks really good. Then in your second flex, you got Tony, Flowers, Beckham, Fournette, Dawson Knox, and Hodgins. Cousins on the bench. I think this is a really good team, actually. Wide receivers, a little shaky, but a lot of upside still between Tony, Flowers, and Beckham. So, and I think Fournette, like, in the position you were in, there's only so many other players you could have picked there. So I think it's a good team, Tommy. Jay Speezy at the 1.9 tonight. All right, we got Burrow and T-Hawk. Love that. Love both those players going in next season. JT was your auto pick, but whatever. You got JT, Jacobs, Connor, Akers, Madison, a good running back room. So you only drafted one wide receiver before the 8th round. So your running backs, tight end, and quarterbacks look great. Let's see who landed at wide receiver. Allen Lazard, Bobby Trees, Bateman, Boyd, Myers, Hutchinson, and Jarrett. 2 good rookies at the end there to see where they land. But I think you would agree wide receiver is the weakest part of your team, but you still got decent late round guys, you know. I like all these guys and have concerns for reasons as well. I mean, Lazard's my personal favorite. You guys know that, but I don't think anyone likes going into a season not having consistent depth at wide receiver. But the rest of your team looks really good. I mean, you'd have Burrow, Hawkinson, JT, Jacobs, probably flexing Connor and Akers, starting Lazard. And then, yeah, I mean, you're just going to have to figure it out between Woods, Bateman, Boyd, Myers, and then 2 rookies. Who's going to be your wide receiver 2, and who can eventually fit into the flex with Alexander Madison as well. So I do think this team could work, but you'd probably be playing the waivers at wide receiver pretty heavy. So it's an interesting build. Like I said, it could work, but you'd have some issues, some growing pains. Justin, some wide receiver snipers in this draft. I chose a bad one to fade wide receiver in. J-Dub says Amari will be okay. I think we may be fading Watson a bit. You could be right about that. Could be right about that. All right, Taylor at the 1.1. So So you had an auto pick 12th and 13th. Uh-oh. So you got T-Law and Dangerous. Auto pick. Fryermuth. Henry, Sanders, Penny, Mitchell, Hunt. J.J. Metcalf, Kirk, Ayuk, Elijah Moore, Renfro. Wide receivers look good. Quarterbacks look good. Tight ends look good. Running backs are still pretty decent, too. I think you had a good draft, man. You're starting T-Law, Fryermuth, Henry and Sanders, J.J. Metcalf, Kirk, Ayuk. Core roster looks great. That leaves Penny, Mitchell, Moore, Russ, Hunt, and Renfro. I mean, like, your bench is fine. You get a second quarterback. 2 handcuff running backs. Doesn't hurt, especially when you have limited depth at running back. Elijah Moore and Renfro are fine where you picked them. Hunt, we just have to see where he goes. I like your team tonight. Yeah. I mean, the bench is not, like, spectacular, but it doesn't always have to be. It's better if it is, but, you know. Core roster looks great. I mean, T-Law, Fryermuth, Henry, Sanders, J.J. Metcalf, Kirk, Ayuk. I'd be really happy with that, man. Let's see. JSC, not going to lie, I hate OBJ on the Ravens from a fantasy point of view. I'm not sure how to feel about it in real life. I don't love it from a fantasy perspective either. I think that, I mean, it depends. If Lamar is back, I think Odell will have a decent role this season. But I don't think he's going to be entirely consistent. I think Bateman, I think it helps Bateman more than anybody at the end of the day. Because there's less defensive pressure on Bateman now. How do I feel about it from a real-life perspective? I just hope Odell has a fun time playing with the Ravens. Because I like Odell Beckham. All right, boss man, what we do, broski? Fields and Carr, good at that. Komet, I'm good at that. Hall, Pollard, Monty, Agnew, Strong. I'm okay with that just because you got Hall and Pollard. Chase, Godwin, Cooks, Dotson, Michael Thomas, Mechie. Yeah, pretty solid team. Yeah. Starting Fields and Komet, Hall and Pollard, Chase and Godwin, probably flexing Cooks and Dotson. If Cooks isn't seeing enough volume right away, maybe Thomas or Mechie slide in there, or maybe even Singletary. So, theoretically, you have Thomas, Singletary, Mechie, Agnew, and Strong on the bench with Carr. Yeah, I think it's a good team. Yeah, if everyone stays healthy, I think you're in a pretty good spot here, man. How do you feel about it? Let's see. Bad draft to Zig at wide receiver when everyone was zacking them. All right, what did I do tonight? Let's roast my team. Late round quarterback build. We got Danny Dimes and Goff. Better hope they repeat what they did last year. We got Ingram at tight end. I mean, once again, better hope he repeats what he did last year, but I like Ingram right now. Didn't go running back to the 5th round. Pacheco, Swift, Dillon, Kamara, Gainwell. I am perfectly okay in a redraft format with those running backs. Brown, Lamb, Moore, London, like those are my starting receivers throughout the season. Slayton, Palmer, I just tried to snatch up the best potential value at wide receiver at the end of this draft. That's who I ended up with. But I'm starting, let's say Daniel Jones. Jones or Goff. Whoever's playing the worst defense. Starting Ingram. Starting Brown and Lamb. I'll tell you, I'm flexing DJ Moore and Drake London right now. Starting Pacheco and DeAndre Swift. Assuming that Kamara's suspended. I like this team. A little bit of a different approach tonight. I think it turned out pretty good. Worst part of the team is quarterback, but like I said, if these guys can repeat a smidge of what they did last year, Danny Dimes number 9 last year. Goff is number 10. I passed on Gino, who's number 5, but yeah, I think this team turned out pretty good. Ingram's got to stay healthy for me. I could have snagged another tight end over Slayton or Palmer, Juwan Johnson, Michael Mayer, somebody. Greg Dulcich didn't get drafted, so he could have been an option as well. But overall, I think this team looks pretty good. J-Dub says scary running back room. Justin says RB's hard to waiver unless injury occurs and that backup isn't rostered already. That's true. That's true. But year after year, running backs pop up on the waiver wire. I do like the way the squad looks tonight, actually. Thomas says, John, don't be afraid to say if you think your team is the team of the night. There's actually I actually liked every team I went over tonight. I tried to nitpick for you guys. Tommy, I liked your draft tonight. Wide receiver in the later rounds do scare me a little bit. J-Dubs, I thought, had a really good draft. I'm very close to going Taylor, but his bench is not my favorite. And I like Michael's team, but the wide receivers scare me a little bit. Speezy, I love your team, but your wide receivers are just not beautiful. Like, there's just a little bit of something with each team I went over. I like Taylor Gang's team. He might be my favorite team of the night. Justin Herbert, Schultz, C-Mac, Jones, Waddle, Devonta Smith, McLaurin. Then in the flex, second flex, I should say, you got Mike Evans, Gibson, Cook, Pirine, Chark, or more. So I think I'm going to go Taylor Gang for the night. But it was pretty close. They're just this tiny smidges here and there. Like Taylor Gang, I like his... I like his depth on the bench a little bit more. Maybe not depth. I just like his bench in general a little bit more than Taylor's. But I probably like Taylor's core roster by a hair a little bit more. But I don't know. C-Mac, Waddle, Smith, Jones. It's pretty nice. But so is J.J. Henry, Metcalf, Kirk, Sanders, and IU. So. And Kuda Cash was team 4. I thought his team was actually pretty good as well. But running back depth, not so great. So I think a lot of good teams tonight. Per usual. Per usual. Taylor, I got to the chip with waiver running backs last year. Just got to get them at the right time. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot that emerged last year for sure. Taylor, I'm down to run a off-air dynasty mock in a little bit here. So stay posted on Discord. And, yeah. I'll let you guys know. All right, guys. So I guess that wraps it up for the night. We got all of our team reviews down. Like I said, I'll run a off-air dynasty mock a little bit later. And that'll kind of do it. So make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. If you guys tuned in and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And check out the links down below. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord. And that really wraps it up, guys. So thank you guys for coming out tonight, spending part of your night here at the channel. Hanging out during the early stream. And, yeah, man. Jay Speezy, have a good night. Thomas, have a good night. Bossman, have a good night. Taylor, J-Dubs, JSC, Chase, Michael, Don, Chance, Kevin. Everyone else who came through, everyone else who hung out tonight, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Hope you guys have a great night. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys need anything. And I will be back on tomorrow. Stay posted for, we'll run a Dynasty mock off air a little bit later. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for everything that you guys continue to do throughout the off season. Appreciate you guys, man. I really, really do. So, like I said, let me know if you guys need anything, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch, and